Yes, everyone, you know what time it is. It's Twitter Reacts time. We're recording this nice and quick right after that result against Fulham. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. Say
Top of
we
the
are
league, say
top of the
we are
league.
top of the league.
We've done it again. I think we've now celebrated with that sort of a chant, once again. We've done that a few times now, and we keep singing it, we keep chanting it, and it feels good, and it's time to celebrate via some Twitter Reacts. We know that you guys appreciate and do enjoy this show, so please smash that like button for us if you haven't already when it comes to the Twitter Reacts. I do enjoy this show with everybody, and it's always a fun laugh, isn't it, Dave?
Oh, it's always a great laugh. I mean, when Spurs are winning, I always argue that's when Spurs are at their best, Jack. So let's see what they're cooking up for us this evening to have a good chuckle at.
Let's see what they are. And we're going first with Zoe. Big up to Zoe. And she says, Decky and Hoiberg have been exceptional today. Sun and Matters oozing class out there. Vicario and Romero, brick wall defense. And can't wait to see more of Lo Celso and Brennan Johnson. Very good summary there from Zoe, Dave.
Very good summary apart from the last part. She undone herself there. I don't want to see any more of Lo Celso whatsoever.
Oh no, Dave's not turning in that Lo Celso form anytime soon by the looks of things. I wanted to pull up this photo here from No Context Tottenham because I do think, let's see if it pulls up there for me and, gives me a bit of luck because I do think it is a pretty good stats screen there. It's just sort of, I think, an explainer between, last season and this season. I think from what I can tell, in terms of the overall stats and everything when it comes to, pressing, physicality, goals, all those sort of good metrics by the looks of things. It just looks like Spurs are just clearly a very different team. So just a bit of a stats yank sesh for it if you did need it.
Just quickly, Jack, underneath there was a comment that said, it's amazing what ketchup will do to a man. Underneath the stats graphic. Brilliant.
That's the better comment that I probably should have found, to be fair. That's probably the better comment. Talk THFC saying, James Madison, the gaffer, went ballistic at us at halftime in a preseason game against Shakhtar Donetsk. Then we went, when we went 1-0 up and then sat off and stopped pressing. He said that's exactly how Tottenham have been in the past under previous managers, and that has cost them, and that has cost them, and that we keep going and never sit off. I mean, he's just told them straight away in preseason, you guys need to remember that with this sort of system, we never stop, we never concede, we never take our foot off the gas pedal, because that's what gives the opposition the chance to get back into the game. And I guess they learned that lesson quite early from Mr. Ange.
100%. Look, Jack, when we take the lead in games and stuff like that, we have to keep going and look to kill teams, because the minute you sit off, you give them the momentum, and we have had a weak, fragile mentality, and that's sort of what has undone us. But great to see Postecoglou stamping down the authority and not accepting anything less. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tim Winston, the absolute legend of Spurs song sheet, saying, needless to say, I made the right choice. He was deciding between his beautiful custom kits there, Dave. One of them is actually, funny enough, a Gimme Gimme, a Ginger from Sweden kit. And the other one, let me pull it up here, actually. Big up to you, Tim Winston. And yeah, hopefully you're keeping well. And also thank you as well for supporting the channel and, sending us the songs and everything like that. Let me pull up this kit for you here. He says, nice one, Sonny. Gimme, gimme, gimme. He's the reason we'll be playing next season as well. There you are. Beautiful, beautiful kits from our man Tim Winston, and he went with the Sunny one, as he should. And Sunny, what a finish! Really, what a finish! Absolute peach of a goal. Big up to you, Tim Winston, and thank you for sending in the video as well.
Yeah, big up, Tim. Absolute legend. And we need a new one now with the zombie for Sonny. He's in my head. Love it. I love it.
LJ 1882, always with the good analysis, and he says, top of the Premier League. Højbjerg did well covering for Basuma, but our other backups are not good enough to start. Game well managed after that second goal. Udoji and Sarr substitutions worry me. Hope not serious injuries. By the looks of things, you don't have to worry, Mr. LJ, and they aren't going to be that serious, but I agree with a lot of the rest of your assessment there. Just thought I'd bring it up there because I do appreciate your summaries. Billy saying, fair play to Højbjerg, been an absolute pro in difficult times and stepped up when needed. Class. People have questioned his attitude. They've questioned his, in a way, loyalty to the club. I think he's been a brilliant servant, Billy, to this club. I think he's done a great job when called upon in really difficult times, too. Now that we're in a much more of a better spell, I think, maybe I wouldn't know if outgrowing Højbjerg is the right term, but that's what some are saying, right? But he's shown that he still can do a very good job for us. Maybe no longer as a starter, but as sort of an impact sub. He is a quality midfielder. He's not by any means, like I said, the best of the best in the Premier League, but some of the I don't know, some of the criticism that he gets, I just think is too far. I just think he is a good midfielder, and he's shown that in this most recent performance. And fair play to him because, I guess he was linked away, and he has been kind of wanting that move away, and he still put in a good performance for us. Yeah.
The anti-Højbjerg group, have an emergency meeting tonight, Jack. What's the next narrative they're going to have to put out about him? They have to find some flaw in tonight's game. The guy looked like prime Zinedine Zidane, spraying balls left, right, and centre. Look, the conversation around Højbjerg shouldn't be, is he good enough for the 11? If not, fuck him out. We need a squad. He's a great squad player. He proved he's capable of stepping in tonight, unlike others. So I do think there'll have to be a lot of reassessing going on around Zinedine Salzburg.
Likely so. The Spurs web pointing out that Guillermo Vicario has a higher save percentage than any other player in the Premier League this season, and no keeper has kept more clean sheets than the Big Vic. He's shown to be probably the best keeper in the league, I think, right now, Mr. Vicario. He's been absolutely superb. Big up. Simon Yemain says Kulusevski needs to stop doing everything in his power to not use his right foot. It's his way of making it easier on the opposition, you could say, Simon. But what are your thoughts on Kulusevski's performance, Dave? Do you feel like he left a little to be desired?
Do you know what, Jack? I actually think if people go back and watch the game, and I'll do it myself tomorrow, I think we'll find that he's actually had an excellent game. Mm-hmm. It's just that end product, that final decision making, whether it's that, ball or cross for assist, or whether it's shooting, which he didn't really want to do today. And I don't understand why, because he's already got a winner against Sheffield United from pulling the peg. He got one against Bournemouth as well. So it's not like he shouldn't be confident in front of goals. But it does look like right now maybe he is suffering, maybe, not as confident in front of goal. I think Kulu, when we first signed him for that period from the January transfer window to the end of the season, he would have buried two of them tonight. He would have came out with 2 goals.
Definitely. Sergeant Sonny pointing out, I love this. He's saying, he's pointing out a quote from our Big Vic. He's saying, "I want to be the sadness of my opponents when I save the goal." Look at that man. Look, it's just, I'm falling in love with him. We had a conversation, and I need to stop going so early, Sergeant Sonny. I really do. But we were having a conversation a few weeks ago on the podcast, and I said, I have worries about David Raya. I'm very glad that we've gone with Vicario. Weeks later, we watched them against Chelsea, and everybody's saying the exact same thing. And also, I've even gone up as far to say that he might actually really be that sort of signing of the season. As brilliant as Madison has been, as brilliant as Mickey Van de Ven has been, this is a top-level goalkeeper. And you look at all the other clubs that have spent way more money on goalkeepers to solve their goalkeeper problem, and they still have goalkeeper problems, and we do not. Vicario has saved us from a lot of torment and a lot of trouble this season, and he's shown to be even better than majority of the other goalkeeper signings that were made this summer. A lot of goalkeeper signings happened this summer, and he's better than all of them. Absolute top Big Vic. We have John Stokes. Happy birthday, Johnny! Hopefully you had a good birthday weekend. I know he had a nice Sunday roast dinner, Dave. For his birthday, and that's just classic. That's just top class from Mr. John Stokes. And there's a great picture that came about of not Madison in front of a big up the Spurs flag, and it just looks absolutely sick. And John Stokes just pointing out, he's got his own in the house. Big up to you, John.
Sure, it wasn't John at the game, Jack. Maybe it was John at the game, but honestly, happy birthday, brother. Really, hopefully you had a great weekend. Jack had to tease me with that roast dinner, so I need a comment underneath. What was the choice of meat, my man? That's the biggest decider.
Mr. Black pointing out that the supposed title contenders couldn't beat a 10-man Fulham at home, and he's saying, I hope that helps. And it was sort of glossed over, I think, that result. That was a bad result, actually, for Arsenal, and they got lucky to get back into the game in the manner that they did. Fulham actually probably should have at least gotten... I remember they were close to grabbing a winner. I remember Fulham at one moment. It was not a convincing performance from Arsenal at all, and yet we were, like always, supposed to or forced to just gloss over it, like winner's mentality, getting back into it, and no, now you have to compare those results, and you can see which club is the real deal. Johnny H, Dave, hopefully you're able to hear this. I'm not sure they are, but this is your favorite song.
league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
Who doesn't
Oh,
love that? Who doesn't love that?
Stiffy. Should have a warning sign on the thumbnail for that one, Jackie. Stiffy material alert.
LJ 1882. Surely Bassey can't be a serious defender. He was pretty atrocious on the evening. Let's be honest. It was two occasions where he just looked like he had no right foot whatsoever. And I can understand when you have two left-footed center backs playing in a back four, it can be a little weird. It can be a little awkward, but still, like, that's not much of an excuse. Some of the moments that we pressured him into, like, he showed that he had a weakness on the ball. He's maybe good on the ball with his left, but definitely not on the good on the ball with his right. And we forced him into some bad mistakes, I think, in conceding possession to us really high up the pitch, and just sort of had a rocky game in general. And a few sort of Ajax players that have been brought into the Premier League, I think, over the last few years or so, let's be honest, have not really convinced us really all that much. I think you got to be skeptical of sometimes Ajax or kind of Eredivisie players. They don't always really hit the ground running, and there are plenty that do, but there are a lot that don't. I think Calvin Bassey might be one of them. A guy that was really highly rated at Rangers, had a really good game or a really good season with Rangers in that Europa League sort of run, went to Ajax and then quickly left Ajax to then come to the Premier League, which was a little strange.
Yeah, look, I can understand why he done that. You know, most people they want to be in the Premier League, but look, it was a good job he was playing tonight. We benefited from it. So
Yeah.
thank you, Calvin Bassey, 12th man. The referee didn't want to be that guy, so we took Calvin Bassey.
Cho pointing out Richarlison having 4 assists already this season needs to be talked about more. He's not burying the goals, but he's setting up for others. And 4 assists I should be mentioning more because I'm trying to point out that his creativity has actually been all right, I think, this season. And the 4 assists would definitely show that. I should probably just mention the stats a bit more often. TSS, the Spurs scout, saying Udogie, Madison, Richarlison are developing a really nice relationship on the left-hand side. Felt they were all excellent tonight. I said that during the watch along. I felt like the left-hand side was really flowing between Udogie and Richie, and also Madison. It just combines with them. But really, it was Udogie and Richie. I would just keep them two. I think they were really, combining well, Dave, with some of the runs. Like Udogie would make those surging runs past Richarlison. Richarlison would play him in behind, and they had a good relationship.
Yeah, I think they play well together down that side, Jack. You know, Dogie's always a willing runner for Richarlison, and Richarlison's always willing to work back for Dogie. So, in that regard, they sort of work hard for each other. And
Yeah.
look, it's just maybe people do have to maybe look at the Richarlison situation a little bit differently. Interesting. That's this what Twitter Reacts is about, Jack.
Pointing out the stats, and the stats can speak volumes. Conrad Spurs 72, absolute legend Spurs 72. He says that is a brilliant picture. I mean, this is just cold. Absolutely right. I mean, look at Madison there, the big flag, behind him. He's looking good, staring up into what probably is maybe the south stand. Looking and admiring just the beautiful Spurs fans among him. Travis saying this is Harry Kane right now. What an edit! What an edit!
It's quality.
That is actual quality on the edit. Like that really is. Like that it's amazing.
Hang on, if someone put him on that, what's his name, Nagelsmann's body, that's like an outfit Nagelsmann would be wearing.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that meme whenever you use that bald guy for that sort of meme of something. And Harry Kane looks brilliant. Fabrizio Romano, Tottenham's Ange Postecoglou has now accumulated the most points by a Premier League manager in their first 9 games. 7 goals in 9 games for Son, 3 goals and 5 assists for Madison. Spurs sit top of the Premier League table with 23 points, still unbeaten, and still are convincing, I think, Fabrizio Romano. We're showing that we can be convincing in a lot of different ways. We can be lucky and get a good result. We can, grind one out when we're not playing at our best, or we can absolutely dominate and run over teams when we need to as well. We're just showing that we can do it on so many different ways, so many different levels. And Ange Postecoglou probably having one of the best debut seasons to a Premier League that almost any manager really has ever had. That's just and especially for Spurs, it's not like it's for Chelsea or, Man United or, one of those sort of clubs. Like it's for Tottenham Hotspur, which, I mean, yeah, like we're going to have a lot of investment and we're a massive club, but you wouldn't expect that the best ever start for for a new, Premier League manager would happen with Tottenham.
No, definitely not. And look, many wouldn't have predicted it with Postecoglou either. He took a bit of convincing to sell him to the Spurs fan base. But I think we finally, he's finally done that, and he's changed the culture, he's changed the mentality. And long may it continue. But Fabrizio Romano needs to be quicker on the stats, Jack. We spoke about that 5 hours ago.
Definitely does. Zoe's saying, and breathe when it comes to the Pop Matasar news. Was unwell before the game and only expected to last an hour. That is good news to hear. And Udoji's injury to Zoe is supposed to not be that serious. Thank you for letting us know. PropSpur saying Kulusevski is good for 10 goals this season, at least once he learns to actually trust himself in those situations. He just needs to pull the trigger, PropSpur. He just needs to pull the trigger. I mean, he's all he needs is just to shoot. He would have just scored. He would have scored on 2 occasions today if he didn't just. He just needs to pull the trigger. That's all he needs. He doesn't even require a good finish. Just shoot.
Do you know what, Jack? Part of me thinks he prefers setting up other people rather than being selfish. There are players out there that are like that, where they get more of a kick of getting the recognition for the hard work and laying it off for someone rather than actually being that guy.
Some of those maverick sort of midfielders used to kind of be that way, where they seem to kind of enjoy the assist almost as much as they did the goal, because it's all about how they sort of set up, the whole thing, and you usually get admired a lot for it. Coco just pointing out a beautiful picture of our man Romero and Sonny, and also Romero, Dave. If you didn't know, it's part of kind of the Argentinians. They like to really show a lot of respect towards their captains, and that's what you love also about the Rambam, is that he's always giving Sonny a good kiss, a good hug, after the game, because he just respects his captain. He just respects his captain.
Should be the picture for Spurs only fans, Jack. That should be the profile picture.
Simon Humain, and just cooking this whole league, and he didn't even meant to. I mean, he's just absolutely dominating it, isn't he? And I might need to fix this for next time, everybody, but I'll play it for Dave just because I think you will like it. Too much winning. It's too much. Mr. President, you have to stop. It's so much winning. So much. We keep winning. We need more winning. We have to stop winning. There you go, Dave. Is that Ange right now?
Oh, that's absolutely priceless. Wow. Oh, too much winning. Brilliant. That is Ange right now. That's me right now, Jack. At the minute with all this winning, I need more.
Craig O'Sullivan, I'm debating whether this one might make the thumbnail. It definitely could. And he says, cue all the rival fans frothing at the mouth. And it's this man. They can't get Spurs out of their head, Craig. They really can't. Shan saying, could we? It's the question. It's the question, Shan. It really is. And
we can.
And Dave believes so. Dave believes so. B, I mentioned this during the watch along. Maybe you were listening to me, or maybe you had the same sort of idea. Are you not entertained? Exactly, Spurs fans. Are you not entertained? This has been sensational, and that was really one of some of the passages at play that we had in that game. Really were just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Are you not entertained? Is right. PropSpur saying massive drop-off in quality and awareness with this group of substitutions. Worrying. And that's if you're going to take a lesson from it, that was one that you seem to take, Dave.
Yeah, I just think every minute, you get a lot of people moaning that, oh, but look, some of these guys need minutes and stuff. I mean, last time I checked, minutes are earned, not given. So if you're not going to earn your minutes when when the opportunity arises, then don't expect more minutes to be given to you. Mm-hmm. And this is my point. They'll sit there, they'll moan in a couple of months, or we've already heard it out of Lo Celso's camp already, moaning that he's not playing. Well, what did you do this evening with your minutes that would make Ange Postecoglou want to select you for the Palace game? Simple.
Digital Spurs, and this could also easily make the thumbnail. Me, Ange Ball. I mean, you have to give it its kiss. You got to be grateful for what you've been given. Digital Spurs. You have to be grateful for Ange Ball. You have to give it its praise. Simon Humain saying he is so underrated. Sonny, in the finishing department, I really do think he is. He's not spoken about enough when it comes to just finishers in the Premier League, goal scorers in the Premier League. Sonny, he doesn't need to even be not every time does he need to just be said, that he's the best or anything, but he never gets a mention, never even gets a mention. And that's what's sad. Like, he is so clinical, so deadly, and is more deadly than most top strikers, even around the Premier League, with the chances that he gets. He just buries it. And even right before that goal, remember, he missed that one chance where, Madison fired it into him. He didn't have, that a great shot afterwards. And then just the next chance he gets afterwards, he does that, right? He immediately makes up for it and just absolutely just sends them to school. And it really was a
Yeah.
brilliant finish. And he should be spoken about more, just in terms of clinical strikers, clinical finishers in the Premier League. I mean, this guy could tell you a lot. This guy could teach you a lot. He really could, Sonny. He really is. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
an assassin in front of the goals. He's lethal. Lethal.
Assassin, well said. The Football Connection, wow, not now 2 points clear of Arsenal, who are just behind us in joint second. That's brilliant. Dave, remember when the joint top, was mentioned all the time? Now they're going to have to call it joint second with Man City.
Yeah, look, and they're going to have to enjoy that tag, Jacko. I know that they're sitting there crying tonight. For Arsenal fans, Monday is the worst day of the week. For Tottenham fans, it's the best day.
And,
Love it. Great comment.
and then Coco pointing out all the beautiful pictures Sonny has already taken, for Player of the Month. Look at that, from young Sonny to old Sonny. It's gorgeous to see Coco. Cody Mack saying, it'll never not be funny that Arsenal designed a gold trim kit because they thought they had won the league in April. C saying, think the new saying for having a mare should be having a Raya. No doubts at all that this is the most superior keeper in London. Doesn't play for Arsenal or Chelsea. Patty saying, the dear option versus the cheap option. I know what one I want all day long in my team. And then Billy, this one you could also easily make the thumbnail. Keeper problems, can't relate.
Absolutely quality. Look, Big Vic, he's been sensational. We know, the reason why I think Vic is getting a lot of praise is because whether people wanted to agree with it or not, Jack, you were on the point very early that, look, Hugo Lloris had just simply declined. And this guy, 6 saves against Man United, a few massive ones against Liverpool, a few massive ones against Arsenal and other games, even tonight's game in Fulham, in 2 massive saves. It's a massive reason why we're getting over the line.
Simon Humain, I would.
And
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think we have to get into our heads at Tottenham because it's been drilled into us by, so many people over the last, couple of years that, we don't spend enough, we don't spend enough. I think the biggest lesson learned is it's not how much you spend, it's what you spend it on.
Definitely. Simon Humain saying, I will never get how Poro learned to be a right back in a fortnight. All of a sudden, he just figured out how to defend, like that, in the space of 24 hours, after looking really suspect defensively. Even in preseason, he looked pretty suspect defensively. And just in 24 hours, just one night, just all clicked together for him, and he's figured it out. It's pretty impressive.
Do you know what, Jack? I actually think it's simple, to be honest with you. To switch from right wing back to right back to right wing back, I think it's simple. The reason why it looks like why it's rocket science is because we've had Doherty and Aurier and some of the worst players you can imagine to play in that position.
This is true.
But when you've got an elite mentality like Pedro Porro and you've got the willingness and the desire, it's easy.
And he does have a good defender in Emerson breathing down his neck, so he knows that he has to be good. He knows he has to be good defensively because there's a guy who can rely on that, just behind him, going for his spot. Cody Mack saying, it's time to ask the burning question in the back of everyone's mind, who is the top of the table based on field tilt? And I was saying to Cody, I said, once I saw that stat, being mentioned, I was like, I think the stats have gone a little too far. Once we saw field tilt and zones being mentioned and like things like that. Zones I usually just associate with where you park, in a garage or something like that. Not really something that, you think it would be associated with a football game. So, yeah, I think the stats have gone a little too far there, Cody. Nabil N17 saying, fans complaining about Højbjerg, but Skip is the real weak link in our midfield depth. And Nabil, that might be a talking point for some of the debate shows. And I imagine maybe Sonny or not Sonny and Dave. Big up to Sonny Talk Spurs though. But Shawnee and Dave might bring that up. Maybe that would not be a bad bit of inspiration. Højbjerg proving people wrong, and Skippy continuing to, in a way, underwhelm. But yeah, Nabila and 17. It's a good point they bring up there.
Do you know what, Jack? I would say part of me doesn't want to debate it because I already spoke about it 6 months ago. I spoke about it last season. That Skip was the weak link. You know, it's sort of like, again, go 6 months early. I get told I'm an idiot. I'm a donut. I don't know what I'm talking about. 6 months down the line, everyone's screaming off the same hymn sheet. I mean, look, if Skip was Danish, people wouldn't be raving about Skip. That's the honest truth. Because he's homegrown, he's English, everything else. People want to promote the Skip agenda. But the reality is he ain't good enough. Højbjerg's 10 times the better player he is, and that's proven tonight. So let's get off Højbjerg's back and actually talk about players that need to up their level to get into a midfield, rather than players that actually can play in that midfield. So, again, I just think we need to reassess somewhere along the last 2 years, Jack. Many of us got out of alignment. Well, not me. I was always in sync with it. I could see what was happening. But, many people got out of alignment, disorientated. Hopefully now we can get everyone, all the ducks back in line and we can talk about the actual players that don't contribute.
Let's everybody enjoy, again, being top of the league. Continue to sing it, from the rooftops. Continue to happy clap. And just giving you so many license to happy clap. If you haven't started happy clapping, I would encourage you to start doing it now. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the week. We go into Crystal Palace on Friday night. Who doesn't love, a game? I do. I've stayed in South London before. There's a lot of really good food over there. So yeah, Friday night, we get to be the main event on Friday night, main event on Monday night this last time. And yeah, everybody, I look forward to Twitter reacts for the upcoming weekend with Crystal Palace.
I just want to say to everybody, Jack, last people we really need to thank is Sky Sports. I mean, they saved the best to last. They wanted to put on, Tottenham in front of the whole world to show them what real football looks like. So fair play, and I want everyone out there to thank you, Sky Sports, for that. Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, West Ham fans, City fans, please big up Sky Sports in the comments because you guys got to watch real football.
Deserved main event. And we'll leave it there, everybody. Smash that like button if you do enjoy these Twitter reacts, and leave a comment down below of any parts that maybe you like the most. We'll be seeing ya. Come on, you Spurs. In the big Ange we trust. We never stop. See you, everybody.
We never stop, baby.